Yesterday, President Trump extended the tariff pause to August 1st, and while this happened, the wealthiest person alive basically made an extremely bullish statement for Bitcoin. And of course, while this happened, right now, Bitcoin is coiling up in one of the largest consolidation phases that is literally about to be breaking out soon here. I mean, I'm going to be exactly break down this major consolidation phase, what I am exactly seeing on the short term, what I'm seeing on the longer term, why the next major Bitcoin breakout is literally about to be happening soon here. I mean, we're seeing literally that the market is getting squeezed up right now. We're seeing one of the tightest Bollinger Bands since February 2024, and here on this chart as well you can see that we're right now on one of the lowest levels of volatility, and always whenever this happens it is basically the true calm before the storm. So this and of course my trade and much more will be getting discussed on today's update video, so don't forget to once again slap up that like button back above 1000 likes, will be highly appreciated, and let me jump straight away in towards today's update video. So yesterday, after, of course, first of all, we had a slight little correction, Bitcoin started to creep towards the upside again, even though it was weekend, of course, right? So yes, on the imminent short term, we can see we're creating a higher low, after higher low, after higher low. And yes, this is just a very interesting structure we can currently see right here. And at the same time, we are, of course, in the bigger perspective, still creating lower highs. But, of course, we are starting to creep up towards that $110,000 level, which is clearly the most important level of resistance of this entire range here. You can clearly see we got rejected by this level for 3 times in a row right now here. And whenever we're going to be, of course, confirming the break exactly above this level right here is whenever we're going to be seeing the big continuation take place here in the market. So this is, of course, going to be a very important level. And of course, on this bigger consolidation phase, you can see this exact pattern play out here. And really, whenever we're going to be breaking above the top side of the region, that is when I'm expecting the major explosive breakout, like we've been talking about for a while on right now, is going to be happening, of course, right? And I mean, one of the reasons why we most likely pumped here is that yesterday, President Trump announced the extended tariff pause from July the 9th to August the 1st. So most likely, they haven't made enough deals yet here. And that is, of course, the reason why he extended for this time being. And of course, also, only moments later, we saw the wealthiest person on the planet endorse Bitcoin. Because Elon Musk was asked, will the American Party embrace Bitcoin? And Elon Musk stated, fiat is hopeless, so yes. So basically, once again, the richest person alive is endorsing Bitcoin, and that is, of course, a very bullish thing if you'd ask me here. Then, looking real quickly at the liquidity heat map, we can start to see that right now there's liquidity building up on the top side, but also on the lower side. So really, can I give a clear direction right now for the time being? No. What I will be saying here is that I won't be surprised that we're going to be seeing liquidity getting swept on the top side and the lower side. Which one is going to be happening first, I am not quite sure of at this moment of time here. But make sure to not get fooled here, to see Bitcoin go first very quickly towards the lower side before then pump higher, or maybe vice versa. Maybe Bitcoin is first going to be pumping much higher, and then, of course, grab the liquidity on the lower side. I mean, something like that, I wouldn't be surprised of this moment of time right now here. So, Bitcoin is, of course, trading in this major Bollinger Bands pattern. Bollinger Bands pattern is basically showing us how the prices are getting squeezed up here. And every single time, whenever the Bitcoin volatility runs low here, like you can see on this chart, we basically see major moves happen for Bitcoin. And you can see it also last time around, the Bollinger Bands was so tight, was February 2024. And if you're looking at the chart back on February 2024, it was also basically the kickstart of that major leg up here from $36,000 all the way up to $71,000, where basically Bitcoin doubled in its value. And I mean, we have already seen the perfect setup right now here, right? We have seen the liquidity grab on the weekly time frame. All these major signals already play out, and most likely what is going to be next is that very, very explosive move on the market. So that is, of course, something I am very excited for here. And of course, I've stated this so many times already, but I'm still very heavily betting on it with my Ethereum trade here. Like you can see, already locked in about $40,000 in profit. Right now in a profit of about $560,000 US. But of course, this is not enough for me right now here, because I am expecting Ethereum is going to be running up to the 3,000 US dollar region on the top side. There are many key factors why this is most likely going to be happening, so I am betting very heavily on it with my Ethereum trade right now here. I am very convinced that this is going to be happening. First of all, chart-wise, we exactly saw that perfect liquidity grab on the lower side. Now we're once again retesting the top side of the region, and honestly, after we saw the fake out on the top side and the lower side, at least what I'm expecting is a move towards the top side of the region, which is about 2,700 US dollars right now here. So very excited for that here. But we can see also on the Ethereum volatility for the last 3 months, this has been the lowest volatility we have measured so far here. So that is actually quite insane here. And of course, if we're also looking at the ETF analysis, over 1.1 million Ethereums being accumulated so far here, which is of course absolutely insane. And right now we are seeing that 3.3% of the total Ethereum supply is already in the hands of these ETF issuers. And the projection is that every single year, 3.2% of the supply will be getting bought. So of course, you have to really invest in the long term, but if you see this trend ongoing and see it even develop further on, I am very much betting on Ethereum very heavily right now here. Also, if you're going to be looking at the competitive analysis between Bitcoin and Ethereum, we can see a lot of similarities where once again BlackRock, but like you can see, it only got 42.8% market share on the Ethereum ETF, while it got about 55% market share on the Bitcoin ETF here. So I wouldn't be surprised if BlackRock is going to be catching up as well on the Ethereum ETF here, but of course, all in all, the flows have been starting to pick up very rapidly on the Ethereum ETF, and that is just something that makes myself very bullish here. And also, another chart which I want you to truly understand here is basically how these cycles work for Bitcoin and altcoin season. And I mean, we have clearly seen Bitcoin season for the last period in the market, but like you can see, it moves always in these cycles towards altcoin season, Bitcoin season, altcoin season, Bitcoin season, etc., etc., etc. And now we have clearly formed the bottom for that Bitcoin season, and I won't be surprised if we're going to be seeing anything like altcoin season, because we have not seen that for such a long period of time right now here. And I mean, if you look also at this chart, you can see that we're of course currently trading on the top side of this chart right here, which historically also has corresponded with a major altcoin season rally here. So yeah, all in all, I am super excited. All in all, it makes a lot of sense for me personally to be betting very heavily on Ethereum. If it goes to $3,000, I will literally make more than $2 million from this freaking trade here. And guys, if you want to be trading yourself, if you want to be buying Bitcoin or anything else on spots, guys, check it out in Bybit Europe in the link description of today's video. If you're living outside of Europe, you can sign up to Bybit Global, where you can also get some insane deposit bonuses if you use the link description of today's video. So make sure to check it out right now here. It's extremely valuable, but I am very much betting on very, very high prices for Ethereum right now here. And it's going to be, of course, not Ethereum, because I do believe Bitcoin is going to be running with ETH here as soon as we're going to be breaking outside of this range here. But it looks so bullish. Higher low after higher low getting created. The resistance on the top side keeps getting retested. And at one point, we're going to be breaking above it. And whenever we do so, we're going to be having an explosive breakout right here. So this was it for me in today's update video. Outside of this, there's nothing more happening here. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.